woman in a relationship.
Don't not violate.
Yeah.
And so, even if I'm not the best chef, I put out an effort and I prepare a meal. Find a respectful way to say it not tastes good.
So here we are then. So let's see then if we can go a little post this periphery of, talking about how you respond or not respond as a man to a female about a relationship. Now, can we make a quantum leap into the relationship? Having come into your relationship and however that went, whether premarital counseling or not, not dwelling so much on that, and you've gotten to be married and you're living now as man and wife over these years. Help us to understand as a man in the relationship, what are some of the things that you think should be done to a man in a relationship? From your perspective as a man, what are some of the things that you think a woman should be doing for, with you?
Things that should be done for.
Whichever of the headings it
For
falls
the
under.
one, all right.
Yes.
So, as a man, I think a woman should not.
You're going into the nut, or what? Because I'm coming to the nut.
Oh, you're coming to the nut?
Yeah, I want to know. Because I know the nut is very nutty. The nut is very nutty, so.
A woman should allow a man, I believe.
Yes.
To be a man. Right? To be a man.
That is bringing out
What does that mean? What do you mean by being a man?
I love that point.
A man sometimes,
Yes.
we posture ourselves in a way that, whereas we presume, look like we know what we do all the time. And sometimes it's for the woman to, stroke with ego a bit,
Yes.
And basically allow us the opportunity to feel like we're the head of the household.
Yes.
Right? And
affirm you.
Yes. That's
as I said, stroke your ego. Yes.
Even though they may disagree with some of the things, but they're still space and we can reason and agree to disagree with certain things. But I want you to encourage a man and encourage a man in his in whatever he tries to go towards.
Yes.
In other words.
Yes.
And allow a man to be in charge.
Yes.
Right.
Support your dreams.
That's it. Be supportive.
Okay.
Right.
Men really adore that.
Yes.
Men really appreciate that. Sometimes it may be not even if it's not the most wonderful things in terms of it may be not realistic, for instance. But when a man feel that they are supported,
yes,
it gives a relationship to them.
Yes.
They have a different outlook on the relationship itself to them.
I'm going to come back to first because we are sharing the platform here, Natalie.
Yes.
But when you say sometimes what the man is doing, if I heard correctly, is not realistic. I want to pin on that. That means it no make
logically
much sense.
Yeah, man. Logically,
to the woman.
Yeah, man. Logically.
No, she is sitting down looking at this nonsense that the man is doing. Hear me out now. But you are stating here what are some of the things that a woman should be doing for a man, which is to stroke his ego and to encourage him, right? I believe that you are not saying you must go into the nonsense and crash and so on. How is it then she should bring across the nonsense still in a supporting and empowering way?
If we have a leader, whether it be a leader for country, a leader for household,
Yes.
and the leader have an idea,
Yes.
but he's not going to vote the idea the right way, or the idea is not one that can become successful
Yes.
based upon other persons around the leader who are there to give the leader support to fulfill the idea, if the idea makes sense. You would find out that members who would normally give support to the leader would actually reason with the leader with respect, and that's where the respect come in. With all due respect, you know, this is a good idea. However, you know, and is that one? Is the respect, is even though you disagree with something, is to disagree respectfully and not to cow down.
Pitch and tone.
Yes. And not to belittle the man.
All right.
You know, to show that his opinion on something may be true or not, or right or wrong. That it's just total stupidness or total nonsense.
All right, we're going to come over to the don'ts. But just to amplify, need to stroke the ego, to encourage,
That's right.
want a woman support you, and so on.
Yes.
First, what are some of the things important for a woman to do to, with, or for a man?
Well, for me, I think fundamental to the longevity of a good relationship, for a man, respect is important.
Respect.
I mean, I think a man understands better when a woman comes to say, listen, I respect you. It makes sense. It makes far more sense more than when a woman even come to you and say, I love you, because most men don't even know what that means.
Oh,
respect has significance.
Respect.
To a man
Don't
in a relationship.
Violate. Don't not violate.
Yeah.
And so, even if I'm not the best chef, I put out an effort and I prepare a meal. Find a respectful way to say it not tastes good.
I like that.
But it's important to a man. In a relationship, respect is very important.
You know, like the rice is so putty sweet.
But I think
There's a question though. What if you have a wife that's not very politically correct? What if you have a wife that it's hard for her to like hide her emotions? So even though she's respectful, she can be brutally honest. How do you help her to understand what?
I want to point to something there in response to Natalie, and I want you to build on that respect because it is big. A very experienced woman, I'm convinced, without referencing her name now, in one of our couples' deliberation, really gave much highlight to the fact that women have what she call an authoritarian almost tone. In other words, she was warning the wives, watch out on your woman tone. Because sometimes when they use that woman tone, it is very emasculating. The woman may not know, but it attacks the macho-ness of the man. A man who is in command of his relationship will just firm up and say, hold up here. You're missing a beat. And may politely bring correction to that. A man who does not have the social skills, you know what he's going to resort to? The physical skills.
True.
Where abuse comes in. So in response to you, just as we will have it on the other side, it should not be understood, even expected that every woman should be like this and on the same level and submissive and all of that. But there needs to be an understanding and growth in a relationship that you are sensitive to how your woman tone affects your king.
That's right. I agree.
Did I say your king?
Yes. Yes. I like that.
You're saying,
yes, I like that.
Right. Right. So
quite a few things raised there.
Yes.
Right? I think a lot of men, unfortunately, are resentful of church, which is so important, simply because they think that their wife give more respect to the church pastor, to their employer. The only person who doesn't get respect is the man. And I think that's a very big mistake in relationships. Right? You want to see a man perform even better at everything, show him more respect. Right? That's critical in a relationship.
First, I remember your point. Because I may miss them, I just want to accentuate them as you speak. Because a church thing and many times the platform of the church is given more often to women for whatever reason. Whether it's because they can bawl more or genuinely pray more or, all these things. But, churches are many times predominantly women. And it's like you rightly said, sometimes it's use a platform to step up on the man. I remember, we're keeping this thing real here. I'm not being chauvinistic, I'm just opening the thing. I remember, actually, that there's an opportunity given to a wife to preach one time. And it's not the wife you're thinking about. You don't know who I'm talking about. But she and her husband were having, obviously, some conflicts. And he was not measuring up based on how she may have thought. And while she preached, she walked out, this preaching can take place, and walk away from the pulpit and went over and started lay her hand on her husband in the public domain. And as if to rebuking and no, I have to amplify that because a church platform many times can be used to, at the very least, create an impression. Yes, that there's a greater respect, as you were saying, given to church leaders and so on, and it's not translated over to the husband and so on. So, big point.
That's a good point.
I just wanted to plug that.
And men are very jealous.
Yes, right. So respect.
And let me add, jealous of respect.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because that is so very important to a man. Like I keep saying, tell a man you respect him, it makes more sense to him.
Yes.
He understands that better. And saying to him, you love him.
Wow.
Right? He can relate to respect a whole lot better.
But let me defend the women as you continue to speak. The women say, you, look at you men. You in particular, you too. You are a gym freak. You own a gym and you train and all these things. This man is a walking gym and of himself. He posts videos of all different kind of things he's doing. Right? How can you become so thin-skinned?
Yes.
And sensitive to me just saying something to you which come across as being strong and you think is disrespect? I never raise my hand to slap you. I just state to you my position on the matter. How is it that you interpret that as being disrespectful and carrying on like you want me to be submission for you is ready to be seen and not heard? I am representing the women right now to you, men. Yes.
I think it goes back to the point that Mark made earlier, right? It's not necessarily what is said, but how it is said.
Yes.
Right? The tone is important.
Tone.
So you can always tell me that the meal that I spent so much time to prepare doesn't taste good.
Yes.
But you do it in a respectful manner. I'm going to keep trying until I get it right.
All right, first, give us an example of a respectful manner.
Yes.
Of a respectful manner?
Yeah, because we want the ladies to know.
That's it.
The tone, for example.
Tone must not be high.
So do not shout to say.
Don't shout it.
What kind of fool cooking is this?
Okay.
You know, who's not going to go back in the kitchen?
Yes,
right?
yes.
What kind of fool cooking is this?
No. but how about, honey, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It might be a little salt, but and this part might be burnt. But I appreciate the effort.
All right.
You know what a man reads into that?
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
You know what? He wants more of that, so he's going to go and try again to make it even better.
Yes.
Cannot overemphasize how important respect is to a man in a relationship.
Got you. Yes, you're dropping some bombs here. So,
but I mean, One of the fun thing about the whole respecting is men, even though we don't have that, in most cases to read all the body languages of women, but certainly can read the disrespectful part.
I'm with you there, brother. I'm with you there.
So far as this is concerned, Natalie, it has been a very exciting time talking to real men, real married men who were confident enough to speak the men issues and feel comfortable that they can go home tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, Oral. I just want to thank our viewers again. I want to thank our sponsor, Mattox Health and Fitness, our resident producer, George Malcolm Walker, our program director, Damian Diaguilar. Thanks to our wonderful viewers. I just want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Foundation Christian Ministries. Like us on Facebook at New Foundation Christian Ministries and on Instagram at B1 Marriage Ministry. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
See you next time.